Okay, so for tonight's dinner, I have 2 chicken breasts I cut up in 3 pieces. They're really big chicken breasts. And I'm going to make stovetop macaroni and cheese. And that's the macaroni in there bubbling away. And I have 2 cans of sweet corn, which I'm going to use for the veg. And we're going to use the water over here to make the roux for the macaroni and cheese. Okay, so in the same pot that I made the pasta in, I have some butter, some coconut oil, and a little bit of the fat left over from the bone, and that's all that's in there right now. I'm going to add some flour, and this is just all-purpose flour, about the same measurements, and we're going to make a roux. Okay, so I've got my flour cooked out a little bit, and I'm going to add the liquid off of my corn right into there. Add in both cans. And I have a little bit more vegetable water out of the fridge. I'm going to add that in as well. Okay, so I've got all my broth in. It's nice and smooth. Just going to add a little bit of milk as well. Put that in there. So I've got that in there. I'm going to add a healthy amount of cheese, because of course it is macaroni and cheese after all. Got my cheese in here. Get that melted. Okay, so now my cheese is all melted in. I'm going to add in my spices. Shake them, just my regular, This is the no salt one. Gonna add a little bit more. And then I am gonna add some salt to this. Just a little bit, and I'm using seasoning salt. And then I'm going to add I'm using diced tomatoes. This is the one with the garlic, basil, and oregano in it. Add that right on in there. And get this mixed together. Okay, so I've got all that in, and in goes my pasta. I'm using shells today. See if I can get this in without spilling it everywhere. Shake it on in there. Yep. And I'm just going to mix it in. And that is what we call my stovetop mac and cheese. Now, if I was baking this, which would be baked macaroni and cheese, I put an egg in it. Exactly the same way I made this. Put an egg in it, put it in a pan with some extra cheese on top, and I would bake it. But we're going to eat it just like this. Okay, so just to add a little bit more flavor, I have some dried basil from the garden last year. And this is just some basil pesto that I made, as well as some celery cubes. So I just dropped a couple of those in to give it a boost of flavor. And this is what dinner looks like tonight. Stovetop mac and cheese, corn, and chicken. So we're gonna sit down to eat and enjoy this. Tonight we are having pizza. I try to do this probably about once or twice a month, and I'm just poking some holes in the crust so it doesn't bubble up. Just doing that. I'm using jarred sauce tonight, but that's okay. It works out just as well. And I have my little, I'll show you, my secret mix here, which I call pizza spices. And I put them in. It's basically oregano, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, that sort of thing. And I just mix it in with the sauce. If I'm using the regular, just jar sauce. If I'm using my own sauce, it already has it in there. But since this doesn't, I'm just adding. Okay, so there's the pizza. This side over here has just onions on it. And over here, it has pineapples, banana peppers, and ham. So it's ready to go in the oven. My oven just came up to temp, and I'm just gonna put it in.
So whenever I bake my pizza on, I actually let it come up to temp in the oven while it's warming. I put it on the highest setting until it's ready.
So this is what the pizza looks like out of the oven. We're gonna let it cool off for a few minutes and then get to dinner. So tonight I made wings for dinner, and I'm just making like a honey sauce to go over it. I have some honey in here, hence honey sauce. Just some hot sauce, homemade hot sauce, even though it's in one of these containers. Yeah, it's just that's not what's in it, but homemade hot sauce. Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of that in there. Soy sauce. And some seasonings. And that's gonna be it. They're in the oven. That was the timer. They should come out now. And I'll put them in a pan and toss them in this, and they're gonna be good to go. Okay, so here the wings are, and I'm just going to pour in the sauce. Oh, they smell so good. And that is tonight's dinner. Some rice with a sauteed onion in it and some spices, green beans, and then the glazed wings that I just made the sauce for. And that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight.
So even though we're doing this Three Rivers Pantry challenge, cooking from our pantry, this is the way we cook all the time. It's not just January and February of each year. It's 12 months out of the year. This is the way we cook. I hardly ever go to the store, buy something for that night's dinner, or unless it's something special or something we don't have. This is the way we cook all the time. But I like to do the pantry challenge because it gets my freezers in order as well as helps me rotate better. So if you like this content, please consider subscribing to my channel and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.